So, good morning. We are going to do a soothing breath practice today. Very simple, very calm, as we take stock of where we are and get an idea of what we would like the week ahead to feel like. So, coming to sitting with your spine straight, whether you're sitting in a chair or on the floor. Let the eyelids drop or just look down towards the earth. And taking a moment to settle into your bones. And depending on the state of your hay fever, breathing in and out through your nose. And if you can't breathe in and out through your nose, then just notice how it feels to breathe through the mouth, but notice in particular the lower lip, the movement of breath across your lower lip. Perhaps your tongue presses gently up into the roof of your mouth. And perhaps you're sensitive enough to notice what that does as you press your tongue into the roof of the mouth. Perhaps you can feel what goes on across the jaw, right across the skull, in fact. Sometimes you can really sense this opening, softening. And then noticing those parts of you that are connecting with the floor. If you're sitting in a chair, then you might be able to feel your feet on the floor. If you're sitting on the ground, it might be your sitting bones, parts of your legs, your feet. And there's this little energy that is a slight sort of hovering energy sometimes, I notice in myself. Like I'm ready to spring away should it be needed. Try to dissolve through that. So you really land, you really anchor. Rooting every time you exhale. You can feel the weight of your body being caught by the foundation beneath you. Notice how your cheeks feel. And bring your awareness to your jaw. Moving up from your jaw to your ear, get a sense of the space around your ears. Maybe even a sense of the space inside of your ears. Perhaps noticing what you can hear. Is there a sound to your breath? Is there a sound to the space you're in? is there a sound to the environment outside of your space? And then bringing your sense of hearing closer to your body. And just let the jaw soften so there is a gap between your teeth, and there might even be a tiny gap between your lips. And bring your awareness to the space of your third eye, directly between the eyebrows. Sometimes you can get a real feel for that subtle energy that moves at that space. Maybe bringing your awareness to the crown of your head. I love that imagery of the crown. It so beautifully represents the crown chakra, this open space of light. And of course it sits atop the prefrontal cortex, the place where we are able to rationalize, home to context, philosophy, higher self. Our ability to rise above and see the bigger picture. And bringing your awareness down to the pit of your throat, allowing a softness here. Not unusual for the throat to feel quite tight. Imagine you're drinking a beautiful honey syrup. It's just softening all the edges, allowing some warmth, some openness into the throat. And then dropping down into your heart. The heart space is often depicted as a lily. I think it's the way that the flowers, the petals of the flower can open so that they're just so open. Perhaps in England we're more familiar with the way a peony, those blousy peonies that just open and open and open, and you feel like all those petals are surely going to drop off, and still it opens some more. Or a rose. Or the great big open face of a sunflower. And feel into your heart space and what that might feel like, and if you can get that sense of opening. And let's continue to encourage the opening as you breathe into your heart space. And let the exhale be a magnificent radiation of awareness and energy from the heart. This incredible magnetic field that we know exists and emanates from the heart. You might want to start some circles with your head to free up some space in your neck. Moving slowly and gently. Changing directions. The ever-changing landscape of those higher vertebrae. And your relationship to mobility here. And coming back to center and then circling your shoulders. Allowing a return to the silkiness of your connective tissue. If you've got the space, then maybe the elbows are going to circle as well. Maybe even a very slow and delicious full arm extension, circling through the arms. Having a listen for today's orchestra of clunks and clicks. One more slow, steady circle. Coming to rest your hands on your knees and slowly circling the heart. An opportunity to feel the lower back, the ribs, the collar. And then changing direction. Adapting for any wriggles that are needed. And coming to settle to center, let's take a little twist. So up nice and tall, bringing the left hand across to the right knee, right hand behind. It can come to your lower back or to the floor, depending on how you're sitting. Inhale. And as you exhale, rotate. We're just curious how it feels. What can you do to make this feel better? And then switching sides. Coming back to center. And as you're breathing through the nose, feeling the breath come in and out through the nostrils, just notice how that feels. If you're breathing through the mouth, lower lip, noticing how that feels. Drawing the breath down into the heart with an invitation to become really clear about any intention that your heart might be holding. Creating the space to hear. It's not always hearing with the ears. It can be hearing with any of the senses. A feeling, a sound, a vision, a knowing, trusting that the intelligence of your body knows how to communicate with you. Noticing for yourself how the inhale feels in relation to the exhale. And how about the space between? The place at the end of the inhale where the lungs are full. How does it feel to hang out there? And the space at the end of the exhale where the lungs are empty, how does it feel to be there? You can use the exhale as a very definite giving away, handing over. Anything that's blocking you from that heart intention, just hand it over. We're going to come into alternate nostril breathing, but we're going to do it in a very intuitive way. We're not going to actually involve the hands. So this might feel a lot more like imagination than it does feel like actuality. I'm working with a bit of visualization. Again, just trusting that what needs to happen will unfold. We've created this container for our body to be heard. So now just trust that it can do that. So alternate nostril breathing, we're going to inhale through the right nostril. We're going to hold as the lungs are full. We're going to exhale through the left hand nostril. And then straight away inhale, left hand nostril. Hold. And exhale, right hand nostril. Sometimes you can get a sense of that movement between the nostrils, not always. But we don't need that as a confirmation, we're just doing it anyway, even if we don't get a feeling of it. Okay, so everybody together, deep exhale. Breathing in through the right hand nostril. Hold Exhaling from the left hand nostril. Inhaling left hand nostril. Hold. Exhaling right hand nostril. That's one round. Second round. Inhaling right hand nostril. Hold. Exhaling left hand nostril. Inhaling left hand nostril. Hold. Exhaling right hand nostril. Inhaling right hand nostril. Hold. Exhaling left hand nostril. Inhaling left hand nostril. Hold. Exhaling right hand nostril. Continuing at your own pace. And then letting the breath practice go when you're ready. We're softening the corners of the lips, the corners of the eyes into a smile, not because we're trying to please or placate anyone. It's not an externally driven smile, it's an internally driven smile, simply because it feels so good. Sometimes it's not even visible, but it's felt. Collecting together some thoughts of gratefulness, some thoughts of thanks, like we're placing kindling on the fire of our heart. And maybe letting an intention settle for the week ahead. And generously offering up the fruits of our practice to all beings, that they may also remember their capacity to feel what we feel when we practice. And bringing your hands together and taking just one version of a translation of the word Namaste. Love inside of me sees the love inside of you. We say that to one another. Namaste.